Okay, hello. Welcome. This is Mary Golf from My Season Life with Mary Golf is my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is like part two of our three-part series on living in Panama. Our first series, we talked about living in Panama City. Today, we're going to be talking about the beach area and some of the interior areas of Panama. So if you have any questions, if you're watching us live, please post those in the comments. And if this is a replay, also post your questions in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So once again, if you find this content, if you like the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button because we have several more videos coming your way. Our next series is going to be from the ladies in Boquete. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so we have two special guests joining us today from Black Women Expats in Panama. Ladies, if you would unmute yourself and introduce yourself to the audience, let them know which area you're living in, how long you've been in Panama.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Deborah Carson, and I moved to Panama. I moved to San Carlos, Panama, which is about an hour and a half outside of the city, and it's beautiful on the beach. And I moved there March 1st, 2022.
Awesome.
And I just got back to the States in March.
Yeah.
Just for temporary. Yeah.
Yeah, temporary. You better get back here.
Yeah,
All
temporary.
right.
It's all temporary.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joyce Barr, and I've been here in Panama a little over 4 years. I've lived in several places across the country. Right now, I'm in Chiriqui, Los Algaroboss. Okay,
Chiriqui.
in the interior.
I'm
Yes.
excited to hear about Chiriqui. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with that area at all.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Okay, so we have some questions that we have received. The first question is already on the screen. So we'll go through the list of questions. If any of the audience has any questions that you want us to answer, please let us know. Okay, so the first question, what is the best way to find an apartment or a home for rent?
Well, for us, we did a lot of things on our own, but it would be beneficial for you to get referrals for real estate agents, for
Mm-hmm.
people that are working in that field and I have great referrals,
Okay.
honest referrals. And it would be the best thing for you to do to take a referral and let an agent support you.
Right.
But also, what I discovered is that you need to have more than one agent, right? You have to have several in Panama because of the multi-listing services that we know in the United States does not exist there. It's
Mhm.
a serious problem. So there's no communication, right?
Right.
So then, you have this agent here who has listings, and then you have this one that has listings, you have that one. So it's good to have two or three. We made friends with them. It's also good that if you're just out exploring, which we did, we were driving and we were just like looking at different buildings and areas, and then we would go, there's always a guard, and ask who can show me, and then who can show me like the condos we're interested in renting, we're interested in buying. And then sometimes they go and get a person, which would be the building manager, and they have inside information because they work
Okay.
there. So they know the owners. So sometimes owners are doing something on their own. So have
Okay.
multiple. Go through
Got it.
agent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great boot on the ground
Mm-hmm.
advice, Deborah. But for those who are, more digitally inclined, you can do a lot of search on Facebook as well as
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Essentura
Mm-hmm.
24. Is that
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yes.
Sound good.
Yeah. So you can look through those listings as well.
Mm-hmm.
I found a couple of places off Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And then just some of the groups will also advertise in certain areas
Mm-hmm.
where they have apartment rentals. So
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And we'll also list the links that we talked about in the description as well. We just got a question from somebody on Facebook. if you could, because it says Facebook user, if you want to like put your name so we can know who we're talking to, you can put your name in the chat or put your name before the question. But this is a question that just popped in from someone that's watching us live. How is access to medical care outside of Panama City? So, in your particular areas, how would you describe the medical care there?
Here in Chiriqui, David in particular, the healthcare is good. No major complaints, affordable. The bedside manner you may hear from time to time leaves little to be
Mm.
desired, but I chalk that up to probably cultural differences.
Mhm.
Certainly, you can get good care in Panama City, but I would say the same for the David area. They have a great hospital here. Certainly, a facility for maternity needs for those who are, needing those services.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't let it be a big issue.
Okay, and
Mm-mm.
how far is your town from David,
I'm
Joyce?
I'm 10 minutes out, so I'm
Okay,
very close.
okay,
Mm.
Yeah, a 35-40 cent bus ride, 10 minutes into the major shopping area. So it makes it very convenient for me.
nice. Did you say 30-cent bus ride?
30-40 cent bus ride. Pitching out
Mhm.
of Descuento.
It's
I
nice,
took a
right?
bus ride recently to Albrook. 25,
Yeah.
no, was it 35 cents? Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. It brings a
Yeah,
smile.
I took the bus into Albrook from San Carlos. It was $3.
Yeah.
$3?
Mhm.
Ah, nice. So
$3.
tell us about the medical care in the beach area, San Carlos area.
Yeah, sure. So I live about 15, 20 minutes from Coronado, which is the big
Okay.
expat city, right? And
Okay.
that's where everything is. They cater
Okay.
to expats. So there's,
Okay.
your gynecologists, your specialists, your PCPs, your primary cares, and dentists, pretty much anything that you want. If it is major medical, you may have to go into the city. But for an
Okay.
emergency, there is a clinic there, San Fernando Clinic, and pretty much everybody goes there. I've seen doctors, I've had my x-rays there because I developed arthritis in my knee there. So uh yeah, I felt good. I've got my teeth cleaned, and
Mhm.
I think that was about $40, not a lot. And also there in San Carlos, there is a public hospital, and I really loved it.
Oh,
I
okay.
happened to
Wow.
my take a fall there before we moved, when we were visiting in 2021. So I had to go to
Hmm.
the emergency room,
Mm.
In the
and they
public
knew that.
hospital?
I went to San Carlos Public Hospital. I totally love it.
Okay.
I'm a retired social worker, so I was not uncomfortable in the
Uh-huh.
environment. Very clean, very
Right.
organized, dated now because there's a lot
Mhm.
of paper and
Right.
pencil. They write everything down, but I was in so much pain. They treated me for 2 weeks. I got medicine for. I didn't take pain medicine, but they offered it, and they treated
Hmm.
me every other day with a steroid shot, and that was under $15.
How much?
It was $14.75,
What?
and so
Did you
they
say?
knew that $14, and they knew I was an expat, so they did suggest to me, if you want to go to San Fernando, because we're from North
Mhm.
America, so they're like, maybe there's more amenities. I said, absolutely not. I'm very comfortable here. It was clean. I didn't know it was going to be $14.75. It was clean. It was a public hospital. It was okay for me. So at the
Mhm.
end of it all, we were like, $14.75. Like, what? An
Uh,
emergency room visit. So you do
wow.
have access to the beach. Yes, there is medical care out there. You can get all of your things taken care of. Now, again, if major medicals, you're going to need to go into the city, which is what? A
Mhm.
$3
Right.
ride.
Mhm.
Hmm? $3.
Okay.
You just ride for $3 and go in there and see your doctor. You don't see
But
a
what
specialist.
Uh-huh.
is the ride like a couple of hours on the bus or?
It's an hour and a half, but
Have.
it could be a little bit longer. You're on Panamanian Highway. There could be traffic, but it really is a good, easy ride. You get to watch, you see everything. They stop along the way. And it really was an easy ride for me. I was going into the city for fingerprints.
Yeah.
Right.
$3. The Uber ride was about 10. I gave a $10 tip, and He took me everywhere. From every point I had to go to, all 5 places, then took me back to Albrook to put me back on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
it's
was
easy,
cost
it's accessible.
effective.
It was very
Yes.
cost effective. It's
Yeah.
easy, it's cost effective. You know,
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish, but we had major communication. There was no communication
Right.
barriers. In
Right.
fact, I speak a little bit of Spanish. So
Yeah.
I was doing it. They were speaking English. Great experience.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so I think we kind of covered a little bit of this, but I'll just show it anyway. We're talking about this. Um,
This is a good question.
is Uber available in your area? Do you need a car? Is the area walkable?
Uber is
Mm.
available in David, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes. Um,
Wow.
and very good rates. I had one come out to my house once, 10 minutes outside of David. Uh, and you talk about affordable. So I guess it was so affordable. He said he wasn't making no money because he didn't come back. And it's been hard to get an Uber to come out to my house. You know, 10 minutes
Mm.
out because the rates are so reasonable. So I done stopped calling them. But in David,
Wow.
yeah, in David, yeah, Uber is pretty good in David.
So when you need
Mhm.
to go, Joyce, do you drive or do you catch the bus to
I take the
David?
bus. I walk and
Okay.
take the bus. I walk to the
Okay.
bus stop and I get on the bus.
Okay.
When I've got groceries to bring home,
Hmm.
then I'll take a
Hmm.
taxi. I'll take a taxi home.
Okay. Okay.
But
How are the taxi rates about the same as Uber or a little more?
they're a little more.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're a little
Yeah.
more. And especially with us expats. But
Hmm.
the flat rate from David to my location is $5.
Okay.
So if I got bags of groceries, the $5
Mhm.
taxi ride ain't is
Right.
the way to
Hmm.
go. Since I
Right.
can't get Uber,
Yeah.
because I give them the business.
Yes.
But in a lot of places in Cherokee, I lived in a couple other neighborhoods where the bus just
Hmm.
rode right by. I go right out to the bus stop, get right on the
Oh,
bus, go
nice.
right into
Nice.
Davi. So,
Hmm.
did I need a car? I have not had a car. Um, right now, I feel like I really could use a car but I use the walk to the bus stop as exercise. So
Hmm.
I call it an exercise walk because
Okay.
Hmm.
And
it's
how
it's a
far you have to walk, Joyce?
it's a good 13 minute. I've
Okay.
done it 13 minutes. That's about as fast because you got to go
Right.
early because it's hot,
Right.
right? So
Hmm.
Right.
I get up and I walk to the bus stop. I get that exercise in.
Uh-huh.
30, 40 cents into David or down to the main city center,
Uh-huh.
and take care of what I want to take care of. And then,
Okay. All right.
so
Hmm.
convenient and affordable. It just brings a smile.
Hmm.
Convenient and affordable. I love
you,
those words. What
you
about
know,
in the beach?
go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no Uber at the beach. There are no Ubers at the beach, none whatsoever. They're all in the city, and I guess David. But there are cab drivers, and so from where I live down to Coronado, which is where all of the shopping and everything is, it might cost you like $7. You
Mm,
can catch the bus for 50 cents. So you can walk it. Everything is walkable.
yeah.
Panamanians walk. You see them walking the highway. They walk everywhere they catch the bus. So out at the beach, do you need a car? That's a personal choice. I have friends that don't have cars,
Got
and they still, we're all there together as a family. So
it.
we pick
Okay.
up. We're
Right.
going, if we're going somewhere, we're going to we pick up. We go up to the mountains. We're picking up. Whoever is
Okay.
riding with whomever. But yeah, we did have a car. And for me, I would need a car there. I would have to
Okay.
have a car.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to have a car here as well. And that's one of my priorities I'm working on is to get me a nice vehicle, and also to be able to ride into Panama City, on
Right.
occasion.
Hmm.
But you can get by, as you save your money to
Yes.
try to afford you a good car, you can get
Gotcha.
by, and
Hmm.
it's also very walkable to here.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet, safe.
Yeah.
You might have a barking dog. They'd be bluffing, but you know.
Hmm. Yeah, you will run into dogs, and
Yeah.
at the beach you may run into horses and cows, and yeah, walking across the highway or down the street. I mean, you may see
Right.
that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little bit. We have a question here live from Jasmine Renee. I'm medically retired military. Do you ladies know if insurance through the VA or TRICARE is accepted there? Well, I
Doc.
have
Okay.
personal experience with that. I My husband is a disabled vet, and I'm registered through Champ VA. And I know there are other veterans that also use the services here. It's not necessarily a veterans hospital, but it's a hospital that services the veterans in Brias del Golf Norte, I believe that's the
Hmm.
name.
Hmm.
And they
Hmm.
have a vet rep. I can't think of his name right now, but they have a representative that will assist you in, I think it's called the Foreign Service Program,
Hmm.
getting you put into that program and getting all your records transferred and all of that stuff. So you can use your military benefits here. Um, I don't know anything about TRICARE because I'm under Champ VA. Do any of you guys know about TRICARE?
No.
No, I don't know
Okay.
anything.
Mm-mm.
Is TRICARE for dependents? Because I know Champ VA is for dependents. But Jasmine, I do know 100% for sure you can use your VA medical benefits here in Panama. I know that for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about that. Oh, here's a question. I think we kind of hit on this a little bit. Um, How far are you from the grocery store? Do you have access to fresh fruits and vegetables like a farmer's market?
Oh God, yes. I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
this is, you will
That's
just
it.
love it for that. That
Yeah.
alone makes me want to come
I
down
love
to
the
Absolutely.
fresh
markets.
fruits and vegetables. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
great. Yeah, at the
And
beach
that you
we have
can
access
walk.
Uh,
that you
One at
can,
a time.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, well, I haven't. I live about 20 minutes again, so I don't walk to the stores, but out at the beach, again, it's a little bit more distance than it's more dense in the city. But there are vegetable stands, fruit stands all along the highway, and it is one of the best luxuries, honestly, and amenities that you could even want there. Just getting fresh fruits and vegetables. So I live about 20 minutes, 15 minutes from like the big stores, but I live 2 minutes from the supermercados. So there are smaller
Ah,
supermercados, and I love to
yes.
go to them and pick up certain
Yes.
things. Yeah, so I don't always have to run down to Coronado to shop, depending
Right.
on
Right.
what I want. I can always
Absolutely.
go, left, which is away from Coronado, keep going like I'm going to David, and there are just
Okay.
lots of supermercados, lots of stores. I love them.
Hmm. Yeah. Or you can be in a neighborhood and have them delivered to you,
That's true.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I have a guy that
Fish.
comes by every Monday, and I get my sandia, my pina, beets. I forgot the word for beets, but I get those too.
I don't know the word for beet.
Carrots, yeah, I forget.
Sanoria.
Yes, um, and there is a little walking for me to get to a even what we would call a mini super. You got your
Okay.
supermercados, and then you
Mhm.
got your mini supers.
Okay.
So it's walkable, you know.
Remol
Okay.
remolachas. Remolachas
Yes,
are beets.
remolatas. That's it.
Remolachas.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah. I'm
De
gonna.
nada.
Okay. This question from Jasmine: Any single moms in the expat community who homeschool? Jasmine, I would suggest you write this question in the chat because I don't have a homeschool age child, so I really can't answer that question. But I think you might get a better response if you put that in the chat. Ladies, do you have any
Hmm.
knowledge of anyone homeschooling their kids?
Yeah, in our chat, in our group, in the chat. So if she were to put it in there, I'm sure Gwen would respond. Gwen,
No,
who
I'm
lives.
I'm saying if you have any
Oh,
personal knowledge, because I don't have
oh
any personal knowledge
no,
of
I
them.
just I
Yeah,
just know one of the members.
right.
It
Okay.
does. Yeah.
Because I think I
No, I
remember.
don't.
Okay, thank you. I think I remember seeing a conversation about that, Jasmine, in the chat, which is the ladies in the chat are very active in our group.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh, okay, here's one.
Mm.
What type of restaurants, entertainment do you have in your particular areas that you live? Because we know here in the city, there's like, a ton of different types of
Mm.
restaurants, all kinds of stuff that you can get into. I literally sometimes just turn down social invites because I don't want to run myself ragged, you know. So sometimes I just kind of shut down and I'm like, I'm not doing anything for the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I can
but,
believe it.
but what do you guys do, for entertainment? What do you do there in your particular areas?
We have a lot of entertainment where we lived. They would sometimes have live music at the resort where we lived. And then we lived at Vistamar, which is the Golf Beach Marina. And there are two restaurants
Mm.
there, Tichanan Thai restaurant, which is amazing. We've had Super Bowl event there. We've had New Year's Eve there. I mean, it's always a party there. Tichanan is really, really good food. Also, there are different restaurants in the area that I live in, and they cater to expats. So on different nights, they may have live music. They have people singing. It's live music all the time. It's live music everywhere. So get used to that. But they also have a DJ. In fact, some of the expat sisters and brothers that I have, they DJ. So we kind of go out there sometimes. There is Latino bars that Shannon and I have gone to. We just enjoy
Mm.
being in the culture. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's lots
Yes.
to
Yeah.
do. It
Yeah.
really is lots to do. And then we have events like at our home. So we might have like one night we had game night. And
Oh,
Hmm.
so
nice.
yeah, so different expats, they do different things. It's always really something to do out at the beach, actually. And if you don't, it's because you chose not to, and that's
Right.
okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, that's the big advantage over Cherokee, David, where I'm at, because outside of Boquete, there aren't really a lot of regular nightlife entertainment opportunities. Okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
more rural in nature, more
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, sedate, I would say, in that sense. And there's some good
Okay.
restaurants, which I'm not really that familiar with, even the good restaurants here in town. Nation Sushi is my favorite, so I tend to just stop there. But David is big enough where it has a lot of restaurants that you can go check out. But I haven't done so. I cook at home. I have to admit, I do. I cook at home. But Boquete, that's a different story, and the ladies next week will expound on that.
Well,
Awesome.
there are. I got some favorite restaurants too, and
Yeah.
there are lots of restaurants. I want people to know that the cuisine was something that I had to try to favor, and so it kind of forced me to do some cooking and some exploring with cooking. And I don't like it, but I learned it over in Panama, and I learned a lot of different recipes. So you have to desire the food. They kind of have the same cuisine, and sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
just want a little bit different. But there are lots of amazing restaurants. There are a lot of like little mom and pops, what we would call, but they're called fondas there,
Fandas.
Yes, I
Yes.
love
and the
fondas.
food is
Yes.
I love,
so good. Yes.
yes,
So
I
you got
love
your fine dining, you got everything from fonda up to
Yes.
fine dining and in between. You really do.
a nice
Yes.
variety.
Hmm.
Okay, we have another live question. I don't have your name, dear. If you guys have a question and you haven't given StreamYard permission, please put your name inside the question. Do you recommend any real estate agents for house rentals in the beach area closer to Panama City? I don't know what
So,
beach.
so in between us and the city, mm,
What's
would probably be um lots of little areas in there. So I don't know, in between the beach and the city, I can tell you about the beach, and I do know real estate agents that are in the city. So
hmm
anybody can sell anywhere. I guess it's whatever they have in their inventory. So
right?
I do have real estate agent referrals. In fact, Panama Equity is a really, really great one. So, but I have a
Okay.
lot of referrals of different people, and
Okay.
but I don't, and so it's not kind of sort of like us. I guess it's a real estate agent in Panama. It's whether or not
Right.
they have listings in the city, in
Right.
between the
Mhm.
city, and then at the beach and on
Right.
up to David.
Absolutely. And a good agent, if they don't have the listings, they have plenty of context. And once you tell them the area
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for, they should be able to assist you. So that's a good
Yeah.
agent. But
Right.
Panama Equity is a really good company, and we'll get some other referrals, and we'll put those in the description for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoops, here. Okay, so we answered that time. We talked about restaurants. So here's a new question. Okay. What is the average rental price for a one bedroom or a two bedroom apartment? So we're talking about just an average, or maybe like an approximate range from the low to the high end. If someone wanted to
Mm-hmm.
live in the beach area or in the rural areas of Panama.
Mm.
Well, that's where Cherokee has the advantage in this
Okay.
case.
hmm
Okay. The affordability factor is really high.
Okay.
An average one bedroom or two bedroom. I'm gonna say David first,
Okay.
because it's the largest city in Cherokee. You certainly would want AC. There's a lot of caveats, though. You need to really do your due diligence, but you're
Mm-hmm.
certainly going to want AC. It's too hot to be in David without AC. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, just
Just
probably
in
like
Panama.
Panama City, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Yes.
two bedroom, two maybe not a two bath, but a two bedroom, one bath, one bedroom with AC could run you as little as 275 a month to
What?
yes to about in David to about now that's the one bedroom. Two bedroom, that's gonna be maybe closer to 250. This is on the low end side,
Okay, this
250.
is this is a two bedroom or one for 250.
Two bedroom.
Two bedroom.
Two
Okay.
bedroom with AC.
With AC.
And you want to inquire about not maybe a suicide shower if that's all the hot water you can get, but certainly that. Okay. Um and so on the high end, you really shouldn't pay more than 400 for a two bedroom, 450 for a two bedroom in Davi with a two bath AC. Okay.
Okay.
So those are some of the good affordable rates you can get. Even a little further out beyond Davi,
Mm-hmm.
you can get a nice one bedroom for 350 AC, appliances. So the affordability factor is a real big deal here.
Wow, that's super affordable. Now,
Yeah.
is the temperature in David? I'm not sure if that's the city that I heard that was really hot or no.
Yeah, well, you have David, you have Porto. I'm Welsh, if I can get those
hmm
L's right. Um, and Panama City. In my opinion, those are the three hottest cities in Panama.
Right.
Okay,
Mm.
Right.
uh, and David may take the lead some days. Porto may take the
Got
lead
it.
some days. Okay,
Got it. Okay.
Los Algaroboss, where I'm at, just 10 minutes outside. Man, it's like when it's 95 and the heat index is on.
It's a lot, right?
You gotta really like some heat.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
Okay.
I do,
So it's very affordable.
but
It's
it's hot.
very warm
Yeah,
temperatures.
yeah.
Okay, and it's a 10-minute bus ride or whatever to the nearest big city, which is David, right?
To my location.
Your
Yeah.
location, but there's other
Yeah.
little areas that are right around the beach that you can live in.
Yes.
And how far
Yes.
is that as far as a bus ride from Panama City, Joyce?
Okay, so a Panama City bus ride to David during the day could run you 7 hours, seven and a half
Mm.
hours,
Okay,
depending on how many stops.
got it.
Mm-hmm.
There is an express overnight bus that can get you there in 5.5 hours, but that bus is cold. Everybody
Mm.
complains how cold it is. So as long as you
Oh,
come bundled up, ready to
so
roll, you can that's gonna be your best bet.
got it.
Or 1 hour plane ride.
Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
1 hour plane ride, got it. And if you plan in advance, you can get probably a good rate on a plane ticket.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
especially pensionados, it's less than 100.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. That's good to know.
yeah.
Okay, Deborah. Let's talk, Deborah. Let's talk
Mm.
about some of the rental
Yeah.
prices in the beach area,
Well,
from the
we
lowest to
can't
the highest.
we can't top that. uh, but it depends on what you want. So
Mhm.
it depends on how many amenities you want. But I
Right.
have seen apartments that are, close to the beach, just local access, no private interest, and you can rent them 1 or 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom for like 350, three eighty
Okay.
nine, maybe 400. But I've also uh have a friend that's living on the beach, a little walk, and I think she pays about 600. It's right
Okay.
off of the beach. The
Okay.
highest that I have seen in some areas very nice. The amenities are nice. You have your gym, you have your sauna, you have your social areas where you can use the grill. Everybody, they clean for you. You have to do nothing. It's right on the beach. Just walk right out. And the most I've seen there might be like 25 to 2,800. So
Is
you
that for a
can
two
just go.
bedroom?
That's for a 2 bedroom, two bath. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 2 bedroom, two bath, or three
With,
bedroom, 2.5 bath.
with all the bells and whistles.
With a lot, yeah, a lot of bells and
Hmm.
whistles. So it depends. There's a range. There's a lot going on in the beach because we actually went out and explored. So you
Hmm.
can find really, really, really good deals at the beach, even on the beach, on where you can walk right out to the ocean. You can see it, you can smell it, you can hear the ocean, and you can do that for at least about 1,500, $1,600.
And what particular area of the beach is this? Is this Gorgona or Coronado or both?
So we stayed in Gorgona,
Hmm.
and yes, you can live in Gorgona. There is actually that apartment that I was talking about for 400 is in Gorgona area.
Oh,
So they have lots of apartments. I have friends there that maybe have been living there a couple years or whatever. They pay like $1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, right on the beach, and you see the ocean. So you can live affordably at the beach. You really, really can. It just depends on what amenities you want. And if you
okay,
don't necessarily like to hear the ocean, you don't want to
right.
live on the beach, then the price comes down. It comes
Okay.
down. Hmm.
So are the areas, is there a big difference in the areas from San Carlos to Gorgona to Coronado? Is there a big difference in those beach communities or pretty much the same?
I mean, there are, like, even at the beach, some beach areas I won't even swim in. So because the waters
Ah,
are rougher. So going up the Pacific
okay.
coast, you just gotta know. And we chose San Carlos because the beach is very calm. It
Okay.
is. But in
Okay.
Gorgona, where we stayed, the beach is very rough.
Yes.
They've had a
Hmm.
lot of fatalities there even before we moved. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, right? So you got to be careful with that if you're just walking on the beach. But then if you go like in Chame, of course,
Mm-hmm.
that water is colder, so you might get stingrays there. So you
Mm.
just got to kind of know the areas that you have. And then there's a
Okay.
season for jellyfish. You need to know the season.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, but yes, the areas do, Mary, they
Right.
do change, right? The
Right.
prices change. There is not
Yes.
a lot of consistency in Panama. I'm just
Right.
gonna be honest.
That is true.
So
That's
it could be
true.
the same, very same apartment that
Depends.
I know where someone paid 2,400, and then the next person in the same very same apartment is paying 1,800. So you really have to, honestly, it's just all in who you know what's
Yeah.
going on with the owner. Be ready to negotiate. Don't take any
Yes.
deal. Nope, 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 nope.
Yes.
I learned that. Don't jump at
Oh,
it,
it's a
because we
process.
did. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah,
That's
there's a big range though, Mary.
yes.
There is a
Okay.
range.
Okay, that's good to know. Um, okay, here are a couple of live questions here. I don't know if I really understand this question. What have you had to give up? Black hair care products, Amazon
Yeah,
2-day delivery,
that's cute.
fast highway travel.
Yeah,
I
missed
I
that.
don't I don't miss any of this stuff.
Mhm.
Let me speak first. I don't feel like I've actually given up anything. I can still get Amazon. Sure, it might take a little longer, but none of the stuff is that important because you can get. I personally can get pretty much what I need here in Panama.
Mhm.
As far as black hair products, I normally what am I even using on my hair these days? Oh, I actually found a natural care place here in Panama. So I even bought some of their products to use on my hair. But if I
Mhm.
don't like that, I can get it from Amazon or I can stock up when I go to the States. But as far as having to give up anything, now I think the pros outweigh and fast highway travel. I never like to drive anyway, so it's
Mhm.
like, I don't I don't miss driving fast on the
Yeah.
highway. But that's just me personally. You ladies, how do you want to answer this question?
Mhm.
Well, I have to admit, I was a hot trot back in the States, man. I was a road warrior, so I do miss that fast highway travel. That's why I'm not trying to get out here on these Panama streets because they will hurt you. You
Yeah.
know, you got police here all up and down that main road, and they live to pull over gringos, expats, foreigners. A lot of them make a lot of money on the side doing that. So,
Oh yeah.
you really have to acclimate to a slower pace of driving here in Panama.
Yes. Yes.
That's why that bus ride is so long from David to Panama City. That bus
Mhm.
only averages about maybe 60 miles an hour. Who
Mhm.
drives 60 miles an hour in the States on a main road? But
I like
anyway,
that.
yeah.
Me too.
I like that.
Yeah. Amazon, I would say anyone here in Panama, you don't need Prime at this point. Just to have
Mhm.
2 day to go to Miami, that's going to take another 3 to 4 days. So say that Prime and just get free shipping. That's what I do.
Mm.
So that's actually
Good point.
a boon right there. Um, the black hair care products, no, I'm pretty much able to find what I need here, or I order it
Yeah.
on Amazon. So that
Yeah.
that hasn't been a real issue.
Yeah, same for me. No,
All right.
Amazon. I ship to Amazon. I don't care about. I think they drive so fast in Panama. I am like they make their own rules and everything. So
Yeah.
it took me about 4 months before I even got behind the wheel. I was just like, so thank you, like God, I'm doing this. Facing my
Mm,
fears. But yeah, and hair products. I just brought what I needed. I cut my hair. One thing I did
Mm-hmm.
say that after we had visited the city, I came away saying, that I'm going to give up the things that I think I need. But that was a personal choice.
Okay.
So I don't need certain things anymore. I can
Right.
live over there and I just don't need them. They still have those things there.
Yes.
There are some products that I'm like, oh, I gotta have. I just took them with me. And I'm always going to be a person that comes back to the States. I'm not an
Right.
enemy of the cold weather. I'm not. You
Right.
can see me sweating now. This is how it is in Panama. Get ready,
mm,
ladies.
serious.
So I don't mind coming home and just stocking up and
One
bringing
second.
back, what you want. Yeah, it's okay. You don't give up anything.
Oh, I'm
Here's a
sorry.
question from Tab. How's the elementary school in David? I'm not sure if you
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have a clue.
okay.
I'm sorry.
So we can Tab, why don't you put that in the chat? Someone might have
Mm-hmm.
young children in the area. And as we talk about the Boquete next week, they might be familiar with that as well. That's
Mm-hmm.
closer to that area.
Yep.
So we'll save that question for next week. Okay, here is another question from Lucretia. Sorry, dear, if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm planning to visit Panama in August, the first 2 weeks. Is there a best place to start my visit? Do you start at the city? Do you start at the beach? Where do
I
you
would
start?
start at the beach. I would start at the beach because you're gonna fly out of the city. And so I've missed a flight. We've missed a flight trying to get from the beach to the city because you think that you're leaving
Ah,
in time, but there could be anything that happens on the
that's a good
Panamanian highway.
idea.
So I would start at the beach and then I would then spend the rest of the time in the city. Boom, you're 20 minutes to the airport. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good plan. It's a good plan. Okay. Someone said hi, Mary, but it just says Facebook user. Hello, how are you? Don't know. I don't know who you are. Put your name in the front if it says Facebook user. Okay, so someone says, oh, here's another one. Okay. Did anyone, this is from Tab again, did anyone with the Pensionata visa ship all of their things to Panama? Was it worth it?
I did just recently, after 4 years of trying to get my things here, and it wasn't a whole lot, but it was a nice shipment. Was it worth it? Well, that's a personal
Mm-hmm.
um, decision you'll have to weigh.
Yes.
Um, I really didn't have a choice. If I had been better prepared or organized around that issue, I probably wouldn't have shipped it the way I did. But
Okay.
the company I used, they were very expedient. It was just expensive. So,
Mm.
was it worth it? Not for the money that I spent, but I did get
Okay.
all of my items. I was able to take care of that to do, get it off the checklist. So now I have a
Okay.
storage in the States,
Got it.
all of that.
Did you miss your items, Joyce?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
there were a couple of items I was glad to be reacquainted with, and I'm
Okay.
enjoying them now. But
Awesome.
when, as an expat, as you try to acclimate to being
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
abroad, it will serve you well not to, hunger or miss or think about or blah blah.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
never was a bother.
hmm
That
Well,
mindset.
this is a
Yeah.
really good
I have.
question. Oh, okay. This is a really good question. It's very personal to me because I am a pensionato and I did ship most of my things there, like the personal things, art, books, and things like that. But life has now brought us back to the States. And so now my stuff is in Panama in the
Mhm.
storage, which is
Mhm.
absolutely okay, right? They're things, but I would have did it differently. And once I got there, we did meet a friend. He and his wife live in Coronado. And when we paid probably about $3,000, it was all shipped very well. It was a great company, black owned company as well. But when I got there, I learned that Reba Smith does shipping. So if you get your stuff to Florida, you can ship, and that would have cost us $900.
Reba
So there
Smith,
are
the grocery store.
on pallets, yes, and they will,
Wow.
yes, there, and that we learned that. You learn along the way. Honestly, you learn
Yes.
along the way. But I'm very, I probably would have just left my things here,
Mm.
because we have a home here, so I would have just left them here. I didn't feel like I needed them. Honestly, I didn't. It's a lot of artwork, and it'll be good there. It's there now. It's gonna look great hanging on the wall.
Mhm.
Wherever we are, it's gonna be
Mhm.
great. But I would have done it a little differently. Maybe explored a little bit more. Not just took. I didn't just take one. The first deal that somebody told us
Yeah.
because we're trying to get out of
Okay.
the country. You don't
I
know,
got
but
you.
it's
I
trial
got
and
Yeah.
you.
error. You learn. So now we getting. We're able to tell you that hold up.
Right.
There's different ways that
Yep.
you can do it.
How do you find out about Reba Smith shipping?
How did I found out? I found out through a friend of ours.
Okay.
And you could just go to Reba Smith. Go there. The one in Coronado. I think they actually moved by Gorgona now. But
Yeah.
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 Is it
Hmm.
just that particular Reba Smith or all Reba Smiths?
I don't know if it's all Reba Smith, but I know that one at the beach, yes, there were pallets. That's where they picked their stuff up from. And
Wow.
it cost them $900.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Tab.
But you got to
I
get,
would,
but the deal is you got to
yeah.
get the stuff to Florida because that's where
Yeah.
Reba Smith ships from
Hmm.
to Panama.
Yeah.
Got it.
And that's,
Coronado.
yeah.
Hmm.
And they did move. So they moved from that location a little bit closer to Gorgona.
Yes, bigger. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. But I would just go in there and ask about it. I never
Absolutely.
did.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a really good tip. Really good tip.
And it's is it worth it? That's up to everybody else about their things. That's
Yeah,
how you know if it's worth it.
because your personal stuff is we can't put a money value on that. That's something that you have to do.
But
So
you'll hear a lot of people say it's easier to replace it here. A lot of times that's not true. The quality and the workmanship is not the same. So you
Right.
definitely have to keep that in mind when considering whether or not, to bring something or to leave it. But
yeah,
certainly let that, give yourself plenty of time to figure out your strategy on
right.
shipping
I
because,
do think some electronics are the quality might be a little different, but then some are even better. I mean, I remember I bought a an air fryer from Price Mart, which is like
Hmm.
Costco in the States, and I love that air fryer.
I do
It's
too.
it's actually
yes.
much better than the one that I had in the States.
Okay.
I love this air fryer.
Mm,
So
okay.
and since being here a year, and like Deborah was talking about getting to know other people, talking to other locals. I have locals that are friends now, and I have like a list of like furniture stores to shop at now if I ever do need furniture, because I think
Hmm.
my next apartment is going to be an unfurnished apartment.
Hmm.
Because before I was thinking, oh, that's too much, it's too much trouble. But I don't feel that way anymore. I think I have
Mm.
the skills and the knowledge now to go out shopping for furniture,
Yeah.
because they have, the places that are not so good quality, and they have the places that are good quality with really good
Hmm.
prices. So
Hmm.
Okay.
I think with the right connections, you can pretty much find what you need. But if
Hmm.
you have things that you don't want to let go, then that's your personal,
Hmm.
decision to get it shipped. Like we were talking about, just make sure you do your diligence, and get those references, and don't take the first quote, because there's
Yes.
many ways to get your stuff shipped if that's what you want to do.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. What is this question? Did we already talk about that? Oh, okay.
That's a good question.
Speaking of getting acclimated to living in Panama, how long did it take either of you to become comfortable? Hmm. I, I personally think I'm probably still getting acclimated, because there's a language barrier. So I'm taking Spanish lessons now, and I'm learning the language, but um, I don't know how long it took me to be comfortable, because I think that's also, I mean, comfortable how, what does that word
Mhm.
mean to you? Do you know what I mean? But I don't wait to move when I'm feeling comfortable, because then I would never do anything. So when I moved here, I was totally uncomfortable, but I moved here anyway because that's what I wanted to do. So um, I was comfortable when I came here on my scouting trip and was walking through the mall. I was
Mhm.
like, I think I could do this,
Hmm.
So I really can't put a time on mine, because I can't necessarily say I felt uncomfortable. I've had maybe some uncomfortable situations, maybe because of the language, but it wasn't like it was almost like a friendly uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to speak the language and they know you're trying to and you're smiling, then it's going to be a nice exchange. So I really haven't had a time period was, oh my gosh, I was so uncomfortable. I can't, yeah, I didn't really have that. You
Well,
ladies?
I did. Yeah, that's why I say that's a good question. I would say adjustment, not uncomfortable. I felt safe in the
Hmm.
country, but I did have an adjustment. It wasn't easy for me, probably because I'm younger and I'm not at retirement age, but I retired early. So
Okay.
when we got there, it pretty much in Panama and where you live at the beach, a lot of the owners own the condos, but they don't live there. They only come there on holidays. So it's empty. It wasn't a lot of people. It wasn't a lot of
Okay.
conversation. It was
Okay.
not. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's desolate, right? But yeah, so I had an adjustment. I did. It took me at least about, because I was like, I'm not gonna drive, they're just going so fast. And then, I had to figure it out. I had to either sit there or I needed to figure it out. So maybe took me about 5 or 6 months to
No, it's
get,
not bad.
a little
That's not bad at
adjusted to where
all.
I
I
was going
mean,
out driving by myself, then going to pickleball, going to different like friend's house and stuff. It took me about 6 months.
yeah.
So I think that you will always, adjust. I think you'll have an adjustment period. Anybody would, because it's a different country, it's a different culture, things are different. And that's something that's probably a whole nother podcast, but that's
Yes.
really something that people need to consider because I didn't go out over there with the mindset that I'm gonna have an adjustment
Right.
uh
To make.
Yeah.
challenge. I
Right.
didn't.
Right.
Yes.
And
But it
Mindset.
happened.
that's the key mindset because that's what I was going to contribute to the conversation, which is a great question. The only uncomfortableness I still feel is the language barrier. My
Mm,
inability to be immersive and to communicate the way I want with the locals. But coming here to Panama, I was ready to take on all challenges.
mhm,
I was here. I was going to make the best of it, no matter what come, what may, and just kept with that attitude, and which has served
Right.
me well.
Absolutely.
Because just you have to love where you are because
mhm.
you're going to be where you are. So right,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
better love it, right?
And as
Okay.
long as I could go back home,
Yes.
because you always, because I met I'm a social worker, retired social worker, and I met another social worker. We were in aerobics class together, and she said, I didn't like it here. This is,
You
my
can
husband gets,
leave.
it's his dream. I didn't like it at all. It was hard. And she said, one day I did, maybe after a year, I had to say, well, if I don't like it, I don't have to stay. I can go back. So you don't have to, so it doesn't have to be pressure.
That's right.
Just
Absolutely.
release it and allow. And so I was like, hey, that makes sense. Duh. And so I came back home a couple times while we were there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. From Lucretia, can
Good
anyone recommend a
Airbnb.
good Airbnb at the beach and or Panama City?
Mhm. I
Deborah,
can.
yeah.
I mean, I can send you to a person that will give you the Airbnb. We did look online and we ended up staying in the old town of Panama City. What is that called? The old city where the
Casco?
old Casco
Oh,
Oh,
Viejo.
yeah.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And we just looked on Airbnb and got that. It was a really good owner, very
Yeah.
nice, really good. But if you do want recommendations for someone to do it for you, I can definitely refer you to people at the beach.
Okay. All right. We can add that to our description. If you're looking for a personal recommendation for someone to actually find you a place, um, or as they mentioned, you can go to the Airbnb site yourself and put in your dates and look for what's available during your particular time period that you want to come. I would suggest you use the Airbnb site. Look for someone that has a super host,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and make sure you read the reviews because those are very important. And I've been using Airbnb for years. We had a bad place, but if they're not a super host, I don't even look at the place.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are highly rated places. So that's a good tip if you're going to use the Airbnb site yourself. All right. Okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jasmine. Yes,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, go ahead. You guys want to answer that?
No, they're very spiritual in Panama. There's a lot of little markets and shops, and you can get incense for at the
You can
Dollar
get those.
General.
You can get them
I mean,
everywhere. I
chakra.
mean,
Yes,
yes,
chakra incense, and they
yes,
were $1, $1 a box.
yes. I
So
think
yes,
what is
you
that
there's a
store called
crystal
in
store.
the city called Total Dollar, I believe.
Oh,
Total
Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they. I mean, I was just in there the other day, and they was just a whole thing section full of incense and candles and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So that's you don't have any problem finding that, Jasmine. Not
And
at
there is
all.
a crystal shop in Coronado.
Nice,
Mm,
nice.
nice.
Okay. Um, let's see. I think we are. I'm just looking at comments here. I think we talked about that. We talked about shopping. I think we have hit anything. Do you ladies have anything like, say, if someone was thinking about moving to your area, something that you wish you would have known, and if you would have knew that first, you thought it was important to know before moving to the area. Anything you can add on to the conversation while I scroll through these and make sure we've answered all questions.
Mm, it's probably important to know. I probably would have wanted to know that the quality of the products maybe are different, and so I bought a few things that I've had to throw away. And
Like
returning
what?
things
Like
like
what, for instance?
appliances,
Okay.
like like a blender, you
Hmm.
know, or purchasing it from Matatazo's versus Price Mart.
Yes.
I
Some
just
about something.
I have to be so honest. Me and Matatazo's, we have
Oh,
had some, we've our experience has been we're adjusting and getting to know each other, but they
Matches
so
Tazo.
yes, and returning things, I would have liked to know that returning things was like, just a whole process and litigation.
Oh,
And yeah, it felt like litigation to return a fan. And so, yeah, I would have liked to know that. And but we got to know each other. They got to know me. I'm like, this is too much. I am not taking it anymore. Da 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 da. And I said all of it from Google, and then I did that to the sir guy. But
Okay.
yeah, I would have liked to
girl.
know that probably it. I think I did know a little bit, but not really that returning the products and all of those things. So I learned to adjust. I just know where to buy my things from now. I know
I,
where to go and I know
I
where
don't
not to
know
go.
who's
Oh
saying
my
this,
Yes.
gosh, look at the
but
Facebook look
somebody is
here.
telling
Yes.
you who I'm not sure who's saying this, but someone's saying stay out of that store.
Yes.
For the ladies that don't know, this is like
Yes.
a I'm
They
gonna
like to
kind of
liken it to
compare it to a
Walmart, but I'm like,
Walmart, but the
yeah, but
quality is
Mary,
not the same as Walmart,
yeah,
but it's kind of
Mhm.
like Walmartish type of a
yeah,
vibe,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But you can literally get anything in there. I mean,
Anything.
it's
you can, and there are lots of good things, lots
lots
of
of
good
good
things. Like
things in there.
yeah, yeah, lots of good things. Just not electronics. Don't do it.
No.
Yeah.
I bought a little blender from Machitazo and it didn't last long either. I tell you.
Ah,
But I learned quick not, they don't allow you to return stuff. I mean, the best you're
Mm.
going to get is a credit, you
Oh,
know?
from
mm-hmm.
that store, you can't return stuff at that
Oh,
store.
no.
Oh, you can. Oh, you can. You sure
Yeah,
can. It's
well,
just
yeah, it's
it's
litigation.
litigation.
Well, about my area, I wish I had a known. Not that it's a real deal breaker, because I'm a homebody pretty much anyway.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how there is really no nightlife here in David. So
Oh, okay.
if you really want to socialize and go out and party, you have to go to Boquete or
We already
come
talked
across
about
some
that.
or come
Okay.
across some other little place that I've yet to know about. Okay, because
Okay.
I be scouring trying to figure out, well, what can we do this weekend? Where.
Okay.
All right, but
So,
apart from that, it's very laid back.
okay.
If you're burnt out on city life and you don't mind the heat, Chiriqui is worth checking out.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And this is true. The more upscale stores allow
Yeah.
Yes,
returns.
that's true.
That is
Okay.
totally
Yes,
true.
yes,
Okay.
that's true.
That's
Yes.
totally true.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, and
They're
she's
nice though at Machitazos. They are
yes,
nice.
Gary, and I've been in there a couple of times. I haven't had,
Mhm.
but I didn't. I mean, I got paper products though,
Yeah,
So
they have good avocados. They do.
okay, I think we are wrapping up. Thank you, ladies, for joining us live. Um, I'm trying to. Oh, did we answer this? Okay, this will be our last one. Um, Are there limits on electric utilization needed for small appliances? Can you talk about electric bills? I'm
I'm
not
going to try
sure.
to give you a real fast on this. This is a good question. These questions are great, and it's so fresh for me. So, the electricity bills. What I learned is that there is a tier, right, in Panama. The less you spend, the more you are rewarded in terms of the price that you pay. So, if you are 0 to, let's say, 60 in that kilowatt area, you
Mhm.
have a set price. It could be 10 cents per kilowatt. If you're in the middle, let's say 61 to maybe 120, that which is normally typically where everybody resides, it's not
Mhm.
10 cents a kilowatt. It may now be 20 cents a kilowatt. And if
Mhm.
you are somebody like me that you have to have air, then you are going to pay more. That is not going to be 20 cents. And now it may be 45 cents because you run your air more. So the electricity, it's like you're penalized for that. So this is very intimate for me because I have to have air. And if you're in a place where there's central air, because there are some condos that are central air because they just want to make North Americans feel just like they're in North America, that is going to be very expensive. But if you're in an apartment or condo or house where they have like the converters, the splitters there,
Yes.
this is the best
Mhm.
way to cool your house. It is. So,
It
yes,
is.
electricity is a racket, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Did you
Correct.
want
And across areas. The fewer expats, the more rural, man, you really don't pay much. My electricity bill has really reduced, 95% almost.
Do you use
Wow.
the air, Joyce?
I use it minimally, Deborah.
Right.
I'm on that lower end.
Yes, it's like I have
Yeah,
friends. They don't care about the air.
yeah,
Shannon, he wouldn't care about the air. So,
yeah,
$50 bills, $20 bills. Everybody's like, "Oh, my bill is low." Me, I
yeah.
have to sleep,
You got to
You,
have
in
it.
the air.
you
I don't
you
need
know,
it all day.
Okay.
right. I've also found here in the city, because my old apartment was an older building. Some of the older buildings, no matter how little or much you use your AC, you're gonna have a
Hmm.
very low
Yeah.
bill. My bill was like never over like $10. ten
In the
dollars was
city,
expensive in the city.
That's great. That's really
Ten
nice
ten
yes,
and
I
dollars
wonder
was
unheard of.
why.
expensive, but it
Yes.
was an older building. I never
Wow.
questioned it. The first time I got it, I was like, "Is
Wow,
this correct?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's your monthly bill." So older buildings. I have a girlfriend. She pays, I think, her most expensive. She said, "Oh, Mary, I got an expensive light bill," and I was like, "Okay, what was it?" It was like $15. So
wow, that's good. And
so
then
Yeah.
pensionado on top of that is a
right.
20%
Yeah.
So
credit. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
some of the bills are, some are very low depending on the building, and some are like,
Yeah.
Deborah was saying, depends on the usage. So, but you
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
control that because most of the apartments have different units in each room. Like you might have a unit in your bedroom, you might have a unit in your living area. And I never have, all three units
Right.
on at once, of course. That's
Yeah.
just
Right.
crazy.
Right.
Nobody's doing that. So
Right.
you can determine how much your light bill is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All righty. So I think we have covered everything.
Okay.
Yes, it is 7:09. I thank you, ladies, so much for being here and being guests here. I appreciate all the information you have shared. So, what we're going to do, we'll put the links in the description. We'll put your referral for the Airbnb in Panama City. And if we did not get to your question, if you want to know anything else about the beach areas or the interior areas near the V, then please let us know in the comments and we'll get back to you. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in joining our community here, Black Women Expats in Panama, to learn more about Panama if you're visiting or interested in relocating here, please click the link in the description and we'll be happy to welcome you there. But thanks again for tuning in and
Yes.
have a great evening.